Good morning. Here is the Sanibel update as of October 3rd, 2022. Captiva is open to the public, but only to residents. The curfew is at 6 p.m. The fire chief wants residents to come in during daylight hours to access home damage and then leave before dark. They do not want anyone to start repairs yet because power is still out. If a generator starts a fire, the fire department is not ready to respond and help yet. There are no public docks open on Captiva, so technically only citizens with private docks can boat to the island. It is considered trespassing if you use a private dock without the homeowner's permission. Captiva is also requesting homeowners not spend the night on the island. There are no utilities working, so it would be very rough if you stayed the night. Sanibel will reopen on Wednesday, October 5th, 2022 for residents only from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Curfew will be in effect from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. 60 members of the National Guard arrived on the island on October 3rd. They will be helping with security issues. Any residents wanting to come back to the island has to have a hurricane pass and a government ID showing that the person is a Sanibel resident. If you don't have a hurricane pass, you can go to the Crown Plaza in Fort Myers, where the Sanibel City Council is currently stationed. There are no public docks open at the moment on Sanibel, so just like Captiva, you need access to a private boat dock and private watercraft if you want to come to the island. There is currently no public transport to get on the island. The City Council is working on a ferry system, but that will take time because they will need a place to dock. All public docks are currently occupied by emergency services. There will be many checkpoints on the island. If you don't have an ID and a hurricane pass, you will not get past those checkpoints. Once you get on the island, you will have to walk to where you need to go. If you bring a bicycle, make sure you have spare tires because the roads have nails everywhere. Make sure you wear thick-soled shoes if you are brave enough to go to the island this week. The roads are only open to emergency vehicles at the moment. Every city council member who has been on the island stressed how dangerous the island is. They said aerial footage is not giving an accurate picture of just how bad the damage on the island is. There are still no utilities on the island. No water, no waste system, no electricity, no cell phone service, no working fire truck. Basically, coming back to the island is at your own risk. The fire department will post signs on all buildings tomorrow, Tuesday the 4th, that will say whether the building is safe to enter. This includes businesses and residences. When I talk about people and residents, I also mean business owners. They are estimating 80% of the buildings are not safe to enter. The city website will be updated by Wednesday. It will list each property damage assessment. The city also has pictures, but I am unclear if pictures will be posted publicly or just sent directly to the individuals. So this list will give every homeowner an idea of whether it is a necessity to return to the island or not. If your house is deemed a complete loss or unsafe to enter, then there is no point to enter to the island until it is safer. The fire department reported they have evacuated around 1,000 individuals in the last 3 days. That means around 1,000 people ignored the mandatory evacuation order. The mayor estimates there are a little less than 100 people still on the island. How are there people still on the island when it is under a mandatory evacuation order? Search and Rescue is there to help people who want to be rescued. They don't have the time or resources to force residents off of the island. Instead of arguing with a resident for 30 minutes why it's unsafe to stay on the island, first responders would rather move on and save people who want to be saved. For the residents who start to return to the island on Wednesday, the City Council is requesting the citizens leave by 7 p.m. If you are lucky and your home is one of the 20% not deemed a total loss, you still have no utilities. They don't want anyone to run generators at the moment until the fire department can get around easier. The fire chief did report that 3 houses burned down. He wasn't specific if it was during the hurricane or because of the aftermath. The fire chief also stressed how dangerous the island is. Alligators and snakes have been displaced. Alligators are walking around in places they don't normally walk around. The fire chief is also very angry with the government of Lee County. Oh man, listening to him talk, he was very, very angry. They keep telling him anything you need, just put in a request. Every request he has made has been denied. Like he wanted better radios or new radios. I think his radios were destroyed, and he wanted a couple extra manpower, and they were all denied. So they keep saying they're working with Sanibel, but they're not working with the fire department apparently. So I've mentioned before the emergency response crew. The emergency response contractor is Crowder Gulf. They have arrived with barges and with heavy machinery. They will start removing debris on October 4th. Their first concern is to get the roadways completely clear. Then they will start concentrating on removing damaged building debris. The water department has got more lines active, but the water is not potable, meaning it is not drinkable. It will be a while before the water is safe to drink again. The sewer system is also still down. The Army Corps of Engineers is working on the bridge repair. It sounds like the federal government will be footing that bill, which is good to know because the Sanibel budget is like only around $4 million for hurricane relief, and it's going to take a lot more than $4 million to fix this island. In summary, it sounds like the city council didn't really want to open the island on Wednesday because it's still very unsafe. But the citizens have spoken and the city council listened, and so they are opening it starting on Wednesday. As long as you have a private boat, you can go see the complete devastation firsthand, as long as you are a citizen and can prove that you are a resident of the island. The observation that stuck me the most was the fire chief who said the aerial footage is giving everyone a false perception of the property damage. The buildings look way worse up close than they do in the aerial footage circulating. He seemed very upset with the citizens who want to return, stressing that 80% of the island's buildings are unsafe to enter. Once I see this database they keep mentioning that will list all of the properties, I will give a summary of condemned buildings. Most likely this will be tomorrow's video. I just mention it because people keep asking about specific residences, and I just don't know yet.